Yes.
Now it is clear, sir, if you are going to compete with the elite, there are certain caliber of players you need. Now the goalkeeping department, are we sure with what Sanchez ayeno? It appears that if Oyene na adwini ye say no, this is the opportunity for me. I mean, keep a team like Chelsea, a big club, and young kolabi ne yedi oma akambum intimidan kolabi ano, so I can afford to make mistakes here. Though a young team, but there is no room for schoolboy errors, and it appears after Okoyiniti, after being dropped or returning, you could clearly see that the errors, wakati errors, with saves there, nobody can doubt say he's very good or a very strong hands, very commanding on the box, but mistakes in getting if he's able to cut those mistakes and not repeat it, can we say that he can stay and do a job? And with Petrovic coming back, do you think that these two goalkeepers, we can rely on them going into the Champions League and fighting for the title? And even if you don't win, you come around maybe a second or maybe third, and the Champions League try to get to the quarterfinal. These two goalkeepers, can they? So, then the defenders. So we have about 10 defenders now. 10 defenders now. Ibibeko loan. Why not? And Yedibiba Bekanwa. Defender Ben Obabe improve this particular team. I think the midfield there will not go there because everything is set. Now we come to the forward. Are we okay, sir? Noni Madueke as one of our wingers, Pedro Neto as one of our wingers, Jadon Sancho, what do we do with him? Now Mudryk, then we cannot even talk about him. And a striker, Yenshas a conversation with.
Okay, it is a share from Chelsea goalkeeping department. Now I think Sanchez has been one of the goalkeepers. Senior my boss, from the start of the season, Chelsea fans will be rehearsed or Munjani Kwampo because the performance was bad. You games awaiting me across Chelsea there. Game against Arsenal, there are a lot of games with me across Chelsea, but I think going to the business side of the season now, being who say I got 10 games, how can Chelsea take advantage of all these 10 games and win and now qualify for the Champions League? He showed maturity, and that is what I think the likes of Todd Bowley and the sporting directors were still trusting Sanchez because of Munimadia or they buy into the game. We had the Premier League, I can goalkeepers or saves percentage, he's one of the best. Even your core across European top 5 leagues are UE5 obeying account. But the only thing worrying him was, I think, his decision making on the pitch. Boy, I said Sanchez, a bo simuno, or person or my pass be free across the team. But I think he has matured through matured through pain, getting the chance. I do baby now we okotena bench. Twice one who said he needs to come in and be that number one. So I think the goalkeeping department as of now, Chelsea need problem. Going into the FIFA Club World Cup, there should be a real competition between Sanchez and Petrovic. That is where now during the FIFA Club World Cup and the last few friendly games on about to the start of the season, Enzo Maresca be pick back, but I'll be okay. He rotating them based on performance. Senior I did that competition. Him say every time there is competition, there is the edge for one person to outsmart the other. It is a goalkeeper's neighbor more than Nebuama club because Sanchez be demo no to me keep clean sheet to assume because on Petrovic be too now a core in the favor of Enzo Maresca and Chelsea teams. So I think goalkeeping department Chelsea need problem. I'm not looking at them spending money on adding another goalkeeper. Even though say what the likes of Pendes, Jorginho Nsemu, or Muba Kubetima Strasbourg, or Betimia Cologne trying to find their feet, and also the next season, next 2 seasons, no Betimia Bema Babeboa. We share the defensive side. As of now, saying our kind Chelsea were 10 defenders, and their summer. I'm not looking at them being part of the team next season. The likes of Disasi will surely go. Meaning say Aston Villa with the Europa, they would like to cough up money and buy Disasi. They are bit dependent. I think Renato Vega will surely stay at Juventus because of Juventus. It's maybe at the Champions League. They would like to get him part of their team. I think the likes of Memphis say, but Share is one player I want him to stay in the setup because I like players on my ready to be squad players and ready to put up the performance to stay. Inti Badleshare, Fafana, Levi Cowell, then Chaloba. I'm praying we can keep Chaloba and forget about this pure profit to be able to make him be that player. Uche team we or no any Levi Cowell, any Rich James sa Cobham feeling no be nim sa. So these are the people on bet me integrated the rest into it. So he should be the one to also stay in the team. So I'll keep Fafana, I'll keep Levi Cowell, I'll keep Chaloba, I'll keep Badleshare, and a champion would be one player on so about him. Then I'll look at them adding another centre back, either Hato or Brightweight or Muba Akubetimiaba. Then we need another left back to be able to help Cucurella. So that one they can bring in. That is when I would go for even the likes of Hato, because he can play as a left back, he can invert, he can overlap, he's good on the ball, he can play as a centre back. Obetimiaba in that type of Renato Vega way now.
Profile maybe.
Yes, into Hato would be one. He's 19 years too, a young player or experience. Our captain Ayas team ni Bimpoda. So he's one player I think they need to add in. So I'll look at these 6 defenders, either Hato or Brightweight or Mubako, to come into that setup, and the defensive side will be solid. With the middle or the midfield position, I think Andre Santos coming back with the Champions League would be something. I bet boy these players. Caicedo, Kopama, Enzo Fernandez. We share in lineup Numa. Now Vicente can't about the excitement. We Chelsea lineup Numa. Players from about Champions League ni muda ebidano. Omundu 10 impo. 10 impo de Makoichi. 5 impo mundu. Uyi Rich James. Uyi maybe Rich James. Uyi Mevan se Chaloba. Uyi Enzo Fernandez obebo be in January no. Bebre Oma, they've not tasted Champions League football before. Any Kopama into Caicedo, with the whole lot of class of players they've not tasted Champions League. Into that excitement, you know. So these are the middle side of the pitch there. I don't think Chelsea have a problem, but the forward line, a concentration you could be, because you can't enter into the Champions League and go for the likes of Dilap Mo to try and build a Champions League team with Derby. We need experience. A player who will give you 30-35 goals. And to say, at least the rumors going on, say, your career, so why not doing sport, you know, and na quite be as a person who team of Champions League. So Chelsea goes into that particular bill for him. To me, I think we need a Victor Osimhen type of striker. I didn't make us say Chelsea needs a player who has a different profile compared to Nicolas Jackson. Meaning, say Enzo Maresca in his press conference, I can't no beat Nicolas Jackson. Similar, but no. We need a player, say a Bobo here crosses into the box. Victor Osimhen can come in and play. See a ball against a team and here our striker dropping, being part of the game, holding up play, dribbling and doing everything. Nicolas Jackson can come in. And I think say Timinya Victor Osimhen, he would complement Nicolas Jackson. Jackson will learn a lot from him because he's an African brother, and also make sure say he would improve and compete with him. And coach be a players on the committee, because as they are competing, you know, say Ebia Osimhen start game no ashe two. Na Jackson but not the one beka ho. And Ebia game Osimhen be start on shego. Jackson be na join so no so baby ma be shego then aboa. So these are things that it will help the team improve. The left wing is also one position that Chelsea needs to get an experience there, because we have the likes of we're friends saying Estavio coming in, your Pedro Neto, your Noni Madueke occupying that right wing position. So we need to have at least one quality. Now for the Pedro Neto can help in on the left wing. Noni Madueke, he who said this season will try that left wing position, he can also help in, so that the team will be balanced, because next season the league will be something that Chelsea fans here so beat me aje. The Champions League almost at least they should get into the knockout stages. The FA Cup, the Carabao, into air trophies they are looking at least Chelsea next season so to me add another trophy. So if you are looking at competing in these 4 trophies, meaning say you need to have a good squad. Until I'm looking at in the striking position, Victor Osimhen should be one player they should add, and on the left wing position, if they can convince the likes of Rodrigo to come into this Chelsea setup with the Champions League with a young team, for him being one of the key players, feeling like okay, Oba be a key man in this Chelsea team, but if they don't get him, they can get a good left winger who would add more goals, because our wingers are not adding a lot of goals. So we need a left winger who would add in more goals, and I think Enzo Maresca leading these boys next season, this season, a good learning curve, man. We see me GDC, we see nyama bebre pa, the ups and downs, and then nyama bebre. So going into next season, he will try to improve so well. Not only a good squad, with the chances are Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer, Mu creating a good striker. Chelsea can go on and win the Premier League or get into a good stage in the Champions League.
Okay,
yes. Listo, I think that Chelsea team now, the best starting team now. I mean, we had a lot of squad, and Coach Maya was squad depth. ARD be here, but I mean, in recent time, we Chelsea team now. Makwa say, young wingers, you know. I mean, if a team of Beji League, you especially 1 or 2 wingers be apart from striker, one or two wingers should be able to provide more than 20 goals involvement a season. But looking at wingers, we have Noni Madueke, who is also improving from the previous seasons of Chelsea. Pedro Neto, who sharing records from Wosa. He's not that kind of player. That kind of numbers, but this season he is also improved. The only player in our setup, wingers, is Yamaka say, why yes, I money that was a year. Jadon Sancho, when he had 40 goals involvement in a season for Borussia Dortmund. Since that, with me and Shana, so I obvious we need a striker, we need a winger, we need a centre back. But I also stress that we should buy a left back. In fact, Ochake Liverpool, any teams are competing now. Liverpool have won the league. In terms of Alisson, goalkeeper young friend Mamadashvili, and equally good goalkeeper, he can start in all the teams on more top 5. They've also had Konate, Virgil van Dijk, any other day. They must start to all the teams. They want to make inclusions. They have right back. There's academy boy as Arnold Amba boy. Bradley. They've also from Pong, but they are also bringing in Zubimendi. They are bringing in Florian Wirtz. So, unable to catch up with the champions list. Or build it team say be a position behind. You have 2 key players at any other day. Or team they will start. So with me, I think that with the defense, Chelsea project. If Wesley Fofana is fit, he's going to start or complementing the kind of football on or Levi Cowell. In fact, Cowell starts me this season. He's been dribbled past just 9 times, and there's been improvement in the game anymore. There's 1 or 2 things we believe that, and I believe that if there's Levi Cowell, Levi Cowell profile and you also have another equally good left center defender. So with me, I think that Chelsea will need to strengthen the center back option. Maybe Tosin Adarabioyo or as a free agent, you won't pay anything. You can maintain him. If you want to sell Chalobah and make some profit, it means that if Chalobah is going, you are buying another defender with a profile like Chalobah. If not, Ube keep Chalobah Krana. You have to buy in. You can keep Chalobah. You can keep Tosin with Fofana still available and buy another left-footed center back. If Kowo is not there, you can play what say, but they are still a very good or a that squad player. But the intensity of the Premier League, it raises a lot of questions about him and an inclusion of Chelsea team. So getting another centre back. In fact, Chelsea were 9 centre backs. Likely say Bimumbeko, Renato Vega, Disasable, players are. It looks likely these players will leave. But with the current crop of players, you can make inclusions. Then you can, if you have 6 centre backs, I don't have any problem with that. With the right back position, we don't have any issue with that because regimes and Malo Gusto, these are players that according to how the coach wants. Malo Gusto also another player in Otimi attacking, Otimi defending, but let's say the delivery into the box and then the final boss, and maybe ensure great as regimes, but defending, clearing the lines and everything is so good. I think that Chelsea needs to buy a left back. And I'm hoping, sir, Robinson of Fulham, Chelsea should buy him. In fact, there are 2 key left backs no more Premier League in this season. A lot of people have been talking about. Me say, Osube checking all this graph now to show me. Yen checking Robinson, and Marco Cucurella with data MB almost start in terms of area abilities, in terms of somewhere right back start yen for ball and running, yen for ball and crossing, expected assist, progressive passes. say yembo ball emmanuel koma a striker ye number 10 in 25 yards. I mean 25 yards na or why everything which so the Kukurela until so share graph now listo so be here Kukurela then a red and then they or no then blue or them kitwebi. So it tells you that if you are bringing Robertson, one of the highest and rated left backs in the league, coming to compete with Marco Cucurella, who also had an incredible season. In fact, was also improving in terms of goals. A ban assister used to Robertson was 10 assists, more than any other defender in the league this season. Senior any Cucurella so ever more goals. And then when we have Benchilwell, Abraham Obade at the peak of Nika area, you can confirm Marco Cucurella by just to create that competition. If Robertson bar, I won't be surprised. But apart from Marco Cucurella, there's another Brenton Eddie Milos Kekes, who is also a player for Borussia Bournemouth. And he's been linked with Manchester City, even Real Madrid, and then Liverpool when they want to strengthen the squad. And they also Enfa Robertson and Milos Kekes. And also he is the only player who make us this season, and also equal head to toe with Robinson. But in fact, we'll check your mommy and graph now. Robinson, in terms of aerial abilities, or the ball all the left backs in the Premier League this season. Obe checking the ball carrying, he's also ahead. Obe checking the crosses into the box. So this is a player what make it 10 assists. Now who checking the crosser. Adiyama Milo Keke see very good and say how he runs and make it cross and come Clivett ne Watara any 7 into the box. Who checking the crosses, expected assist, checking the progressive pass and defensive actions. And the only thing now Milos Kekes, Eddie BT Robinson, the duels. And I think that signing players who will come and compete very key. Right now, Andre Santos Obano, it means that he's coming to compete with that number 6 row, number 8 box to 2 pivotal row and everyone. He's coming to compete. And team now that good healthy competition now. And will compete at the top. So if Chelsea wants to compete, we should buy a perfect replacement, perfect competition, a bit more players. So I think that in the left back row, I think that we have to buy a left back because Chelsea need any natural left back with him anymore. We could call every man. Any other players in about left back, Biano, players or mere centre backs are you do more about that row. And I will look into that player. In terms of midfield, I think that we have a lot of players there. Caicedo as the number 6 row. We have Caicedo and Romeo Lavia who can play, and in fact, Caicedo actually will say he is consistent. This year, 38 games out of 38. And one of the players starting all the games. The last time played BS was Aya Branton and Cesar Spilicueta. So if you have him now with Romeo Lavia, you have Enzo Fernandez, and you have Aya Santos. It means that you have players number 6, number 8. You have Aya Branton and Aya Kopama. And then Joao Felix, I don't know if you are going to sell him or Chelsea is going to make him stay. If he's going to stay, he will be a better backup to Kopama. And in fact, Estavio Willian Eba. Now finally, after the Club World Cup, reports interest say he's going to be a squad player. Obviously, this is a player he can play as an attacking midfielder, as a number 10 row, and also play from the flanks. So I think that the main issue of Chelsea for Neselisto, they should maintain the striking role. And I don't see any player offering because that
what striking role from last season and this season, what Chelsea have gone through.
The main striking role.
Yeah.
And check it the last season and this season. I can't say used to check it Chelsea this season. Petima create a lot of chances especially in the Premier League. Ubebo say Liverpool create a lot of chances in the league this season. Only Liverpool create more big chances than Chelsea. 150 for Liverpool and 120 for Chelsea. And only Manchester City and averaging more possession than Chelsea in the league this season. And only Arsenal and they concede fewer goals than Chelsea. So who check Chelsea team now? I say possession wise, start possessing football now. Enzo Maresca person ball. The only team with me ball that possessing football more than him. Nipakona or understanding which is Pep Guardiola. In terms of defensive, say concede fewer goals. Only Arsenal. Almost started more dark art of defending this season. and they concede more goals, and Liverpool are OG league, and the team or team more chances. So all things being equal, if Chelsea are able with Estavio coming, it means that the chances creation, will also improve. Enzo Fernandez this season in all competition, 20 goals. Last season, the goals contribution used to drew even 10 impo. So if Chelsea any striker obetima converting in those chances at Chelsea be created, it means that the goal tally a bit and I don't see any player fitting this Chelsea game style of football. No other player than Victor Osimhen. Right now, saw this for Eddie's car attempt, but then someone who is closer to the player, also a legend to the team. Mawaya say this boy wants to play for Chelsea. He doesn't care about the monies. Saudi for the day, but so with me, accountant Nisikana currently original about Obama Chelsea, and then they looking at everything. I think that he is this missing piece. Oh, Chelsea on period maybe when he 26 years, but yet he can still play for the next 4 or 5 years for Chelsea. And I think that after Victor Osimhen, Sa Ekitike, and all these players can. Yet you are going to lose Christopher Nkoku, who play on to me. Yes, say Yameji boy and fan running. Missing Maguire. You can buy 2 strikers. Now they added to Nicholas Jackson. Or rating highly say they believe that he can improve and add a lot of things. And how on the ball, there are few players on board. You do not need to go and spend 80 million. So Kwakofa Obiti say who go Ekitike, someone who flopped at PSG Edinaba team beat Chelsea and medical can say any player behind the beat my big club a fact. So to me I think that the centerpiece Chelsea should get a left back because next season so Kukrela anywhere a better to be a left back to beat my boy do that position.
So that role had to.
Yes, on the
because that had to he can play as
a center back
and
as a left
back.
Yeah.
So bet my invert so no. And I'm expecting say apart from defenders in the movie I'm account.
Oh yeah, Chelsea will buy a defender, a center back. So me I'm looking at say there are 3 places that Chelsea have to reinforce: a center back, a left back, and a striker. And especially goalkeeping role. All my always say they are bringing the highest rated goalkeeper in Europe top 5 leagues, which is Petrovic. And in fact, if Petrovic now said Mike Pendes Ebeko Strasbourg on loan, Petrovic is coming to compete with Sanchez. I believe that Sanchez, apart from say some petty goals be a share, Petrovic is that goalkeeper now, or not yet that shot stopper. Sago is going to mention, and he was also improving. I would say with Sanchez in the Premier League this season with the highest percentage save, and also Petrovic also coming in. I think that it's also going to help the team in some ways. So apart from the goalkeeping role, we don't have a problem. But the center back, left back, and the striking department, they should strengthen those parts.